Okay, let's roll.
Stop it.
You'll bring this meeting to order?
Yeah, sure. We'll call this meeting to order. Who we missing? We're missing Jackie. Chris is joining us via Zoom. Missing Elliot. Anyone else?
Lonnie.
And Lonnie.
Jay.
He's not joining via Zoom. Okay.
Look like she's up there.
All right. Any announcements?
I guess, yeah, I will change my schedule going into next month. I'll be working nights, making, so attending meetings will be a little bit more difficult for me.
Okay, no
So
problem.
I'll try my best there. Also related to the trails, so we're talking about the new trail a lot. Kind of forgot about the old trail. We do need to look at the old trail and fix what's there as far as getting in from the North Angel Tire Road. Making that, it's crappy stairs right now. So all that needs to be addressed to as we focus on a new trail as well.
Agreed.
It's kind of
Very
talked
good
about that the
point.
other day. There's old bridges in there that cross the creek, they're just destructive, basically.
I think they got redecked or a few new decks boards put on last
Okay.
year.
But last I heard though, people that have hiked, Solar Loop, that there's that bridge that's in really bad shape.
Yeah.
It's still got
Okay.
missing
Still
slabs.
missing
still
slats. I
missing
thought they put slats on it.
It's kind of sideways
Oh,
too.
God. Okay.
And that, in my understanding, is Solar Loop is a resort trail and.
That's not what I understand. That's one of our to-do lists.
Yeah.
Yeah, issues and, yeah.
Well, and I think that's one
Never
reason.
touched the trail.
The saga continues.
Yeah, so that, yeah, there is some confusion on Solar Loop and Frank County, the existing Solar Loop and existing Frank County. Who owns what? and who's-
That's something that's in the region.
And also, if you bike it, the stairs aren't really
No.
conducive to
And
it.
you know, the
And
green
when you
of
go
it,
up the other side, everybody goes to the left and comes out on the road instead of going up the stairs. Maybe you go
addressing that and
bypass
making
or
it-
something.
drawing the grade out so wheelchair, I think it could go down more accessible.
Yeah.
Wouldn't call it ADA compliant, but what is your term you use?
Adaptive component maybe, yeah. Yeah, I think
And I
we,
do see the village over there, they work on that trail often.
Well, we, like, we were doing,
PDAs.
this weekend, I noticed that Frank Young Trail was really in good shape. There were no weeds or anything in
Yeah,
it.
so I think the
It
village.
looked like it had been like
Done a great
almost
job.
raked or smooth. It was real good shape.
All right.
other announcements, I did share, some links to American Rant Company with you guys recently, and also shared a link recently to Shay and Rocky, and just copied the committee on going after Land and Water Conservation Fund money. That's available, that's, through the state, but it's, given down through NPS to the states. So Land and Water is another good source for local parks and rec stuff, 50% match, and, that's gonna require all the federal compliance done to, go after that federal money. But it's a source. So there's a webinar on that, I think November 21st, on Land and Water. Good to get to know the state people in Land and Water, and then the Park Service people in Omaha that deal with.
All right, any comments, questions from community audience members?
Just one request, I was gonna ask the committee when you approve the agenda, if you could move item C to the front of the list, so Mr. Nelson could share what he has, and he's a busy man.
Sure, yeah, we can certainly respect that. Thanks, Carl. All right, moving on to the approval of the minutes. Any changes, requests, concerns, recommendations? Everyone okay with the minutes as written?
Great job on, that, Tim, well done.
Thank you.
All right, I'll take silence as consensus, and then we can move to the review of the approval of the agenda. Move that we move item C up to the start of the agenda, and then you wanted to move the comprehensive plan up as well, or the Frank Young.
Well, Frank Young is our first topic, which is the Trails Plus grant at
Okay.
Trails One. So that's the number one topic. According to a contract that is not participating today, so we can either spend more time on the comp plan or, pretty much the comp plan, so that's the two topics today.
Okay. So I guess if Court doesn't have it, we can just nix that from the agenda.
Are we going to defer that to another meeting, or are we just gonna fix that all together?
Let's address it, when we get to that item number and make a decision.
Okay. Alrighty, everyone okay with those changes? Any dissension? Alrighty, I'll take silence as approval. Moving on to now item A, review of the status of the Trail Plus grants, recommendations, input, grant application, Frank County Extension. Carl?
Well, I had a few questions.
Yours, sir.
I've been asked to do a survey for you guys. I'm a little unclear.
What, map up? Yeah.
Here, let me give you this, so you just have to look at it too. Okay, so here is the high school property, okay? This is foundation property, which is probably still looking, I don't know, I haven't followed anything, they've been up there for quite a while, but this is probably still in the district, okay? This is the. No, sorry, this is still in the foundation. The high school proper is in the district, okay? So my question was, I understand where you want to come from Frank Young down there. You want to jump off the sewer line easement here, okay? There's a little pump house building, right? And then you want to, here's our power line, which I don't know any particular right of way that it has, okay, an easement, right?
There's no recorded easement.
Not that I found, I even got a note on there addressing that, okay? So, in your, what you're asking me to do, or what the village is asking me to do, I'm not quite clear, are you wanting me just to stop at the boundary of the education foundation property, or you want to bring it all the way to the high school property? You want to know the length of your trail for your grant? When you're putting out the bid, that sort of thing, and then when you leave this property, probably the foundation property, well, how are you gonna get down to this, see this line here? This line here, they're the same. Okay. Right, so that's the sewer line that was put in for the high school way back when. There is, so this is. So this is still resort, right? This is still resort property coming through here, all the way to, oh wait, no, it's not, no. This is Allen Fields, all this is Allen Fields here. Okay, so then you come through, I guess you leave school property right on the village property, and then what are you gonna do? You're gonna come back on the easement for the trail, or are you gonna go through the property, like to the fields? Those are my questions about
So,
what.
on the screen and a couple of printers is what I kind of looked at. I don't see a volunteer social path from the high school over to Allen Fields directly. It looks like there's a running trail that leaves that corner of that parking lot with a blue line that they either run on or walk on or ride
We
on.
built a single track up here
Okay.
a long time ago,
Okay,
right, and it catches down in here somewhere, right?
yes, okay,
I don't know
so
if they're
there's a couple of
using
switchbacks.
Can you see it still, is it being used?
Yeah, it looks like it's been used, there's some
Okay, good.
climbing turns on it, but to me, I don't know. I haven't walked it, but I don't know if the power line easement or the sewer line easement is a better 5% grade route.
Well, getting up to the well house is super flat.
That's
Pump
super
house.
flat,
Yeah,
it's probably 5% along the power line too.
I don't
You
know.
can come off the slope there and, it looks like you get down the grade. So I crossed at the narrowest place, near the old lagoon. And they would skirt the lagoon over to parking lot at Allen Field. That was just from a quick overview of what I thought might occur. Here's a smaller version here.
Oh, okay, good.
Same thing. So that was just a Google Earth sketch to me, of the easiest way
Right here somewhere.
to get from the school to Allen Field.
So you're gonna have to build a bridge.
Right, I understand that. Yep.
Doesn't matter to me one way or the other, I'm
Yeah.
just trying to get clear on what you guys are doing. And my first question is, when I do this work, strictly wanted to stay along that power line like you're discussing? Is that what your blue line represents there more or
Yeah,
less?
it's more on the power line easement.
Mhm, and then jog it.
It's on the right, it's on somebody's right of way, so someone gave utility company a right of way to go across that. Utility company wasn't there before the land was, so.
Sure.
It's like unrecorded right away.
Good luck finding that. There could be something that could be.
Now, we would have to get like that, we would have to get an easement to use it. Right?
may not.
Not necessarily, no, the definition of an easement, it's just the right for Kit Carson to have that there. They don't get to say on what goes on around it. Right. You know, if the,
Well, who is the property owner of that then? Is it the,
School district. looks
well,
like.
no, well, but the school district owns this line here. Okay, I didn't bring any highlighters. Okay, school district owns that. As far as I know, like I said, I've been involved with there for a while. The Education Foundation still owns this. Are they still active?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so.
What happened to it?
A long time ago, I think nobody just.
Anyway, that's another entity that you're gonna have to deal with.
I mean, they would have to.
They might be, but I don't think so.
I mean, if we cross in their line, even if it's on the power line, they still have to agree.
Absolutely.
And is that agreement done by an easement or?
Yeah, well, you could use whatever survey.
You would have to do it.
I present, right, because I have to identify all these landowners all the
Yeah.
way back to.
Okay.
To Liberty Square,
Yeah.
you know, it's a pretty extensive.
There's gonna be a
job.
lot of landowners, right?
Well, there's,
CS
Ranch,
the resort.
yeah, I think mostly the resort and the village, but no problem with the village.
Yeah,
CS, which is now American Creek Properties or something. And then these.
whatever.
If
Money
you cross
takes
over
it
to
when
this
he
line,
said
then them.
Yeah, and then these.
And maybe you tie into this single track that's there. I don't know.
I walked it for a while, you can use a little bit of it, but
Yeah.
then it starts
Cause
moving
it
away.
comes down right along here and then,
Yeah.
and then there's a little mini loop in here somewhere.
Yeah,
And then it branches off to the bigger loop, goes around the property. But to answer your question, you would have to get permission from whoever,
Whatever you cross, whoever's land.
whoever land it is. You want that.
And across, in the village, you don't get, I mean, the
Well,
village is
those
already.
do whatever they want to do.
Right, right.
I think they're in agreement.
Yeah. So,
What's the width of the sewer easement?
50.
Oh, that's good.
So that was the
manholes-
idea.
The manholes are not in the center line of the sewer easement.
Okay, okay, so they could be on one side or.
They are. They're just within there.
Okay.
So if we can just get that sewer easement to be converted to sewer and pedestrian, we can meander within that 50
I don't
feet.
know about converting it. It's still a sewer easement. I think the village, you don't convert it. you
Well, not
just-
convert it,
You do a stack on or out.
Yeah, you
Add-
just,
add
the
to
village,
it.
whatever you guys approve, some resolution or something, that says, you know, we hereby grant, because it's still the village property, the sewer's on, it's, you know, it's the CS's, it's the village, just those two really, but, and, and the resort.
The resort,
excuse me, yeah. So,
It'd be the resort and CS.
well, you're not converting it, it's.
No, I didn't mean convert. I used the wrong
You're just,
word.
you're just asking them for permission to use that land as well.
And then that.
With the understanding, you know, unlikely that any maintenance has to be done in that sewer, but once in a while, you know, manholes gotta get dug up and replaced, or they go bad, or whatever, and you bring equipment out.
So-
Your trail could be impacted by
Yeah,
that.
but when, say the resort gives permission to use the sewer easement as a trail, that, I mean, that has to be done as an additional easement. I mean, does it has to
Typically,
get
because all
recorded?
we
Well,
have right
hopefully,
now.
like, when I get this to you in, let's say, 4 to 6 weeks, something like that, I don't know what the timing is, I'm just finishing up my latest priority for the village, that you could, you know, we'll be clear where the resort's property is, where the village is,
Yeah.
wherever we're impacting it. Hopefully you can use the whole document that I prepare, right? To say, and maybe we label them A, B, C, E, or something like that, you know, I haven't quite wrapped my mind around it. I won't tell it well into it, but yeah, and you know, use that.
And what do you want us to do where the easements aren't? Like, we're gonna follow the electric power lines to the school, we're gonna follow the sewer line from Liberty Square. From that point, what do you want
Well,
us
first
to
they go
do?
under the electric line. so-
What do you want us
But
to?
like this across here is good, there is no.
They're not gonna
There is
mark
no
it across
easement
like
big
bigger
across that, you know, there's probably an easement here or a right of way and this is already an easement.
This is probably the sewer line.
That's the
Yeah.
sewer line.
See, here's the,
Here's the line right here, that's the sewer line.
But we all need.
And then this is the power line, but then when we, to come over across that,
Mhm.
there is no existing.
No.
Easement, so that would have to be marked, an additional.
That's probably gonna be, just looking at this, that's probably gonna be resort right there.
Right, but so that would require an additional easement to get.
You know, if the resort flinches a little bit at this or whatever, you could always just push it up to, you know, this corner up here and then come across. How far, see this line right here? Right there?
Where's that?
It's the same as this right here.
Where's that on this map? Where approximately where
There we go.
Oh, that's easier.
That one, this map I did kind of
Oh,
starts.
it's,
right
actually, you're
across.
probably pretty close. You're probably pretty close looking, because here's your lagoon. Here's
Right.
the lagoon right here.
Right,
See?
yeah.
And, well, here's the bottom of the edge of the big dam there, okay, which is
Yeah.
probably this right here, okay? Right, so it wouldn't take a whole lot, and it's not, wouldn't be impacting either landowner that much. Okay, it depends on the kids.
I think they're looking at the, half
And,
century time period out.
right, yeah, for sure, they always do, that's, nothing that's bad, but anyway, that's an option, to get. Cause you're gonna come up, well, so here's the pump house, power line's over here, right to the west. So, once you get across the creek, hey, how was that, by the way, did you look at it? That culvert?
There's a big hole and then it can be repaired.
Okay, alright,
Dirt-wise.
so when you come across here, you're gonna have to jog back here anyway to get to the power line. See that? This is the power line right here.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna come up here, then across that creek here, and then you're gonna go, somewhere.
The reason we happen to go over here instead of up here is to get across the creek. So you just can't come up here and.
Well, you can, yeah, you could come up and have one bridge,
There would have to be a bridge in here somewhere.
well, if you wanna do, if you didn't wanna cross right there, right? I guess you wanna build one bridge or two.
One bridge, I think.
Yeah.
And so
So-
the one bridge is gonna be up in here.
Well, here's your creek right here, so you can put that in there.
There's two objectives. I mean, first of all, what's the objective of the trail? First objective is, the accessible pathway from the village to the high school.
Right, and you're pointing a little bit, I'm sorry, I don't hear you.
Attila.
Yeah.
Right,
Right?
yeah, we have. You've done work with them a couple times. So then the second,
So is the power line the best path to get up there?
not positive yet, that we need to scout both routes. That's why I leave power line and sewer line in there. The second objective is for the youth and the high school teams that use Allen Fields to have easy access, walkable access to Allen Fields for PE or sports teams or whatever they do out there. So that's the second objective.
So then you'd want them to come back down across here and then go over.
That, to me, seemed the most logical route because I think, higher up, it's, the grades are steeper, it's a little more difficult. There's a lot more terrain change. You could go up higher and connect to the road, which I don't think is a very appropriate route. It seems to be more construction necessary.
The more difficult probably to survey out.
Yeah, so we're minimizing the, land crossing without not being on easements the way that's kind of laid out. There's two right of ways, there's utility right of way and the sewer right of way.
Well, this is not documented, so don't.
Right,
I
okay,
wouldn't.
yeah.
Yes, that land's encumbered, so let's look at it. It's on. And look this man. Yeah, this is all village here, so, power line's entirely on village and resort,
Okay,
right through here, right through this stretch,
right.
okay? Not on the high school.
And my logic on that was, okay, they're gonna probably, if the utility easement was the most, sustainable route for our needs, no one's gonna build under their utility easement. So yet likely, as with the sewer, it's likely that, yes, that's an okay place to put a trail because we don't see any further development on that piece of property. So that's kind of why I looked at these two routes.
Yeah.
And that was just a starting point for us to go scout those, and we do need to get out and scout both of those and run some line and see what we come up with.
Well, I
So
mean,
before-
he can work both, he can work the
Yeah.
utility easement and this in his plan, in his survey scope, and if we deviate from one of them, we had it already.
Well, but I need to know what, it'd be helpful if you guys went out in the field and pounded a stake, and this is where we want it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I don't know what you want.
Sure.
Right.
Well, so you could say like what you were saying was right on this line, right? Right on this line. This line right here would be from here to the power line, right?
Say what's that, Jeff?
For this one, you're talking about just doing it from, on this line, right?
Well,
To
it's
the power line.
close, but you could, it's there.
I mean, we would hope that would, cause I mean, if we walk out there, we don't know where that point would be, but.
Hey, Chris, I'm gonna fill you in as you're listening on that. If you can see the sketch Can you see that sketch? Okay, we're looking at that bottom where I crossed, from the power line over towards Allen Fields, and we're looking at that
So
little
look at what,
space in
look at
there
what
now.
Jeff's saying right there, like if we didn't cross here, right? We didn't cross there, you're still gonna build a bridge, right?
On this for 6 weeks.
You're gonna build a bridge, right? Mhm.
It goes across.
So what if you abandon that idea right there, you stay on the sewer line, come up here, it takes a hard right, okay?
So we're kind
And
of talking
right
about this area
here,
right in here, Chris.
Right here, you're on village property, right? This is,
Let's see the screen, but that's okay. Carl said that he wasn't gonna be able to get to this for 6 weeks. That gives us time to go out and mow the route we want, so that's obvious for him what to survey. Is that not
Well, as
correct?
far as, it's, once we deviate from the easements,
so
Do we even need this like?
if you did that, right? Okay.
Don't have to do it.
And then
We don't have to go around there, we don't have
Yeah.
to do a bridge crossing.
That's true.
you wouldn't,
Not even do that.
Yeah,
you did
that's
that,
fine too, yeah.
you don't even have to resort, you don't even have to, not to say the resort's a bad thing, but you don't even have to involve the resort here at all. Just along the sewer line.
So what you're saying is.
Well, you just get past this right here.
We don't have to do this. We don't have to do this part here.
Right, exactly.
Because we're doing a bridge anyway, we were trying to avoid that.
Trail there.
So-
if you come
So
across
Chris, the
here-
conversation now is this little section that I'm showing
Actually, I think it makes a lot more
That
sense.
makes.
isn't really needed,
And then look at-
and we just go
We
straight
just
out.
go, look, this is all flat, we know this is flat, now it does get steeper, when we go this way, up there for a while, you know, catch in at this corner here, and you, or maybe you don't, maybe you just stay on power line, the path. Look at this, is all village, right, you're gonna do a bridge.
Do you think this is village here or is this resort?
No, that's village, it's South Fields.
186,
See this tract A here, see this thicker line right here? Yeah. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, that's all.
This all Allen Fields,
So what,
and the soccer fields in there.
the only place we're gonna cross resort property is here?
Well, I'm saying if you stayed on the sewer line easement, you wouldn't have to, we wouldn't have to deal with lot 192, which is, you know, it's a 40-acre lot, and, you know, they're, like Patrick said, they're thinking a half a century out, what they're gonna do there. This is already encumbered, the resort's already encumbered here, it's nice and flat. It's a long, it's kind of pretty down in there.
Now, resort has to still get permission.
Absolutely, yeah.
Cause they could say, well, yeah, we don't mind having the sewer easement, but we don't want people walking down here and.
Well, there's all these liability.
Liability.
Yeah, but it's less, it's way less of an impact to the resort.
They're not gonna
To
build
stay
on
on the
that.
easement until you get to Allen Field's boundary.
Right.
Right?
That makes a lot of sense.
And once you're on
And
the,
then, and once you're on here,
you
you
can do anything you
can
want.
do anything you want.
So like, if
And then
we decide the power line's not the best route.
Well, you don't have-
We need to go out and scout and make
Yeah, we do.
sure.
What's your name?
Tim.
Tim. Kelly. So you don't even care about the power line once you get here.
It's all village, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Now, the village may be concerned though of how they wanna use that property and say, well, if we put a trail here, that could
Well, maybe,
mess up, but I mean, it's probably.
I'm trying to remember, I think traditionally, this is pretty wet down in here.
Yeah.
It used to be
Probably not gonna
wetlands,
be
you know, in this last 20 years, it's dried up quite a bit, but that, to me, makes more sense for everybody involved.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it gets a little steep, well, you throw some switchbacks in. But back to my original question, is that something we need to account for when I do this survey?
Switchbacks?
Well, just, do you need to know the length of your trail when you're, for your grant?
Yes.
Yes, right, because you do.
Mhm.
So by the time I get done, we need to go, okay, we can do some rough, you know, we maybe get Patrick's guy out there. They're not too busy up there and say, okay, we want it like this, or somebody lays it out, okay? And then I can just go ping, ping, ping and pick it up and we can show proposal.
The grant application, the first phase is for the design of the trail only. So, I mean, if.
So you need to know,
If we
you need to know the
know,
length of your trail.
yeah, but if we know that we can do anything up here, would it be better for the design people to go out and design the trail using the most, what they believe is the best route? And then once they identify that, then you actually do the survey to stake the.
Well, if it's like a 30-foot, I mean, the sewer's a 50-foot easement, if the power line's a 30-foot.
We don't know what the power line easement is.
But we're not even worried about the power.
I don't think you are anymore. If you
Yeah.
go this route, and then how, I mean, here's the end of the, you know, here's the end of the road, the parking lot. It's actually down here, like this one here it is. I'm faking it in, but the parking lot's down here. So however you how close do you wanna get to the high school? Right to the parking lot?
The parking lot.
Yeah, okay, fine. So So you can meander your way up to the parking lot.
Do you want us to just go over there and mow that? Like mow it back
Yeah.
or
Whatever.
stake it?
We just gotta locate it where it's nice.
Yeah, I know.
That's the big
The
one.
good news is I'm gonna be done with my current building project in a couple days,
We
so.
can look at the grade too, to see if we need to put in any switchbacks and stuff for Steve.
But who's making that decision, like the switchbacks and everything? Is that the design?
The design.
Or is that us?
I'm not comfortable with
Then we,
it.
yeah, no, we think of it.
Well, I think between some of his folks and myself, we could
Do it.
lay that out.
Yeah.
Right, that's
Like,
not,
I'm probably gonna start working on this in about 10 days, 2 weeks.
it's
So
not that
Sunday,
technical.
this weekend, maybe we can make a date to go out there
Absolutely.
and mow and then.
So look, you guys
stake.
can see, these are pretty obvious out there. See these circles?
Yeah,
here?
yeah,
Those are the manholes.
Right, we've gone out there and walked that, we
You can see it,
identified.
right? So when you see this, you know, right, and then you go boom, you go north, we know right where you're at.
I wanna scan that in so I can print a copy
And
of
I put
that,
it
so we
by-
can take it out.
right
with
by-
us.
You have this. Oh, I can, I can,
Knock down that.
I can scan it.
whatever you want to do. Right, right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A lot of.
And then
I-
we can
Stay on to these.
This isn't the file copy, because you can see I've got kind of stuff cut off and.
Yeah, no, thank you very much.
This isn't.
You have a scan that?
Take that with us out.
I think that's.
All right.
So,
We're not going to do fresh out.
So what we-
With the resort's only like one little bit of property in the easement?
Just the easement.
Just
The easement, you know, just, so with the resort.
No, I didn't know that. Look, here's, yeah, unrelated.
So we go.
Totally right.
Here, Frank Young Trail's over here somewhere, okay?
We I can figure that out easily, once we.
Village, Village, I think CSI, just right here. Um, Village again, right? That's now Village, right? That's
The police
yeah,
station.
that's now Village on this side too. Or actually, I think that job builder like it anyway. And then resort, all the way to. I guarantee our kid's gonna like this option better than coming up through this line here.
Right.
Yeah.
And it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And-
Especially for the kids.
So no unnecessary.
It reduces the mileage or the.
We were thinking
Like
that.
less trail.
Yeah, we didn't realize this was a property line.
And
You
then,
know, so-
yeah, and then that's, you know, for the high school, that's a, we're in years somewhere now, that's better access down to here. Yeah. Is there a path now to the dog park? Or is it
It's
just-
kind of a road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's supposed to get a little better, yeah.
Yeah, which is, we'll get lots of those. So, there you have it. How about your trail gonna be?
Well, it's gonna so the idea is to meander, you know,
It
within
won't
the
be
30 or 50 feet.
No, but wait, you have it
6 to 8 feet.
6 to 8 feet?
Yeah.
6 to 8.
If it's an accessible path.
Two lane trail.
6 or 8, people with triple wide strollers are gonna need
Well, you
space.
gotta think of the older crowd, let's say, riding their e-bikes on it, right?
Yep, right.
People pedaling, people walking, 8 feet be awesome. So you blank. Good. Yep, okay. How many questions I got?
The path and way. One of the issues that was very.
You have this, you guys?
That'd be super helpful.
Here. I'll send it to one person. Who should I send it to? You?
Yeah.
Here, let's go through this. Then.
Where it crosses the creek is also a factor. It can't cross on a bend in the creek, just kind
Yeah,
of
so we
cross on
don't
a
know,
straight
right,
run.
where we're looking on the map of what the creek
Yeah,
looks
we gotta
like
go
right
right
there.
there.
Then you gotta build some regulations, right? That's part of your.
What
Some regulation, you just can't be a couple 2-bys out there.
Right, no,
Right.
Can't be a bike park bridge, right?
We can find some old salvage equipment out in the yard and dump it, flat that on the, like we did in, Carolina.
All right. Sweet.
Is that it?
I
That
think
is
so.
it for now, yes, thank you.
Thanks very much for your time.
So we don't, we talk like in this option?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot better.
So you need us now to go out.
I said, well, don't you have to do it today,
No,
but.
no, but.
Soon.
And I may start, like, if you guys do that soon, I'll go locate that in case it does snow. I can do the rest of this in snow. If I have to, I don't want to, but I will.
Yeah.
But that part would be, I can go locate that, in an hour or two. Once you decide where you wanna go.
Okay.
And maybe you even, I don't know, if you're gonna mow it, maybe you get some, 1x2s, the 18-inch long, pound them in at every angle point you want, however you want the trail to go. Yep.
We did a little flag top that happened.
Kind of use like your normal survey stakes.
I wouldn't use those because the wildlife are hard on those.
Oh, so use
Some
what?
a little, maybe the 1x2s with a little point on them.
Great
Bundle
stakes.
on them, that, 18 inches long, maybe, or 2 footers, I don't know what they sell over
Yeah,
here.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Cool. Light them up, paint them, whatever. Maybe you have to do that.
We got tape.
But if you do that and it hasn't snowed, I'll make time to go locate that before the rain hits.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna get to the village, something to sign off on in the next day or
Do
two.
you need, like, would we be putting the stake in kind of basically the center of everything?
Yes, do that. And wherever you put a stake, and if you're thinking, oh, it's too steep here, boom, we got a little switchback, boom, we got a little switchback, however you're getting up to the parking lot.
Okay.
Okay.
Right?
Sweet. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you.
Really appreciate you. Good to see you.
Okay. See you guys.
Be less cost too.
Yeah, taking that section out makes a lot of sense.
We do that.
Hey, I'll see you in about 5
All right, thanks, sir. Appreciate you.
I think we only we had that one extra section in there just because of the stuff. We keep on the power line.
We didn't know there was property down there.
Right.
Yeah, that's where.
Very helpful.
Yeah.
Great.
So,
You're right.
so Chris, what we've, decided on is looking at that map there, that we're gonna, eliminate this piece here. That goes down to that pump house. And we'll come from the school and cross over somewhere in this area. It's on almost on a property line between the village and the resort, so it's not gonna impact too much, and then continue into here, and where it comes into Allen Fields, if it's sort of perimeter of the parking lot, or we can figure that out. Once you do that. You follow that, Chris?
Can Rocky share his screen?
Oh, this entire time he hasn't been able to see.
I thought he said that.
Oh, no, it's just a PDF pulled up on, I got you. It's just a PDF pulled up on our side.
You're gonna love it, Chris.
I think it was in,
That's me.
that email that Attila sent.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it, but I can't see what he's pointing at.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's that, yeah.
You can update that PDF, Attila, and send it back out again.
Okay, we'll do that.
And then, also.
All right, now he can see it.
Oh,
Yes.
there,
Yeah, so we're talking about eliminating this
sure. Okay.
section right here.
Since we're doing a bridge anyway.
So we're just gonna do one bridge because, as you've heard all of the other conversation, discussion. But yeah, this is the portion that we're going to eliminate.
on that.
That's fine.
Yeah,
if we have to
for us,
mistake it.
we'll kind of know how
That'll
the
be
creek
much
is
easier
at that point.
Yeah.
With the resort.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's because
Yeah, you don't want to go through.
eliminate it. Does that make sense, Chris?
Yeah, the only reason, in my mind, we had that is because there was already existing bridge down at the pump house.
Instead of a straight line, it can go.
Well, that was why we had it cross.
Oh, you mean right here?
People come down.
Yeah, that's right at the well house or whatever.
Oh,
It
gotcha.
was already there, but since we were gonna build a bridge anyway, that's why
Okay, I
we
gotcha.
decided to build a bridge anyway, so we can get rid of
Okay.
that need.
Yeah.
Really make him
Stop sharing. All right, sweet. So what else, what other discussion do we have on this agenda item? I guess the next action steps is we need to figure out a hard time to actually go out there and walk it.
Yes. And as far as, I guess with the school, I'll ask Jenna. We haven't been able to revisit a date. She picked Thursday, not realizing that was Halloween until I picked up on that. So we knew that wouldn't work for high schoolers to
Right,
Halloween night out there.
no way.
Unless it was a costume party.
So if we do pick a date, I'll see if the kids can be there.
Okay,
A weekend, like, he said 10 days, so we need to,
we need to book it on it.
Yeah, we need.
Well,
this weekend I'll be available either Saturday or Sunday. If
I
that
could
works
do
for
this
anybody.
weekend.
I can do this.
I could do this weekend.
You need to take out stakes and stuff.
Yeah, we should.
I'll take my mower too if you want. I mean,
Okay.
and then,
I mean, I got the flags, but.
You would need.
as long as we walk in front, make sure there's no rocks, big rocks. I'll just follow y'all's, whatever. That way you get a
I think
good
that would be
visual.
inefficient until we figure the line out,
Okay,
because I think we gotta figure the line out, for, get a right grade before we start doing a lot of mowing, because that would be slow, sometimes it's a slow process. Figure out the right load for it.
okay.
Alright, so
So if
let's,
we can get staked and scouted,
so do we
Otherwise, she'll be
wanna,
like over here and then, oh no,
Yeah,
back this way.
yeah, right? You cut
Well,
too
I
much,
mean,
let it
yeah.
go.
When you have a stake here and you have a stake here, for him, you don't realize, I mean, how do you realize what's in your mind of that turn? Without, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right.
create some switchbacks.
so do we wanna set,
Take it and mow another day maybe.
what's better, mid-morning, noon, mid-afternoon, early afternoon on Sunday? How's 1 o'clock on Sunday sound? Is that reasonable? Is that,
So,
is
let's
that
try.
too late? Is,
We just bought a house and I have to move.
that's okay. Congratulations on buying a house.
It's
That's what's up.
a stress moment right now,
Yeah, it's okay.
Moving's the worst.
It sucks.
but send me a text.
Sure.
Guys out. I'll try to make it.
Cool, right on. Alright, so let's just say one day, Sunday at 1, any opposition to that at this moment?
Should work at this moment, no.
Okay, cool.
I'll bring the stakes and
Okay, Jeff will bring stakes.
November 3rd.
You got flagging.
Yeah, November 3rd.
I bought some, just,
I
yeah.
got some rolls in there.
Cool.
So
Alright,
1 PM meet at the high school parking lot?
and then walk back? Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, good.
Alright, would be a. Is there any other discussion on this, or I feel like we've,
Well, that piece is done, now we can still talk about the grant, I think we'll leave a little bit more, has any been a narrative complete or anything else on that from our last meeting, or closer to reviewing anything?
I would have to ask Rocky. He hasn't told me anything in our meeting yesterday. He just kind of touched base on it. He was waiting for the easements and whatnot, and then he had a lot of good information from all of us, from this committee and everything to put in, but if it's actually in there yet, I don't.
Have we talked to American Creek Properties? Has anyone talked to
Have
them?
you talked to
Yes.
him? Yeah.
So as far as American Creek goes, we'll just design a gate system, he even said those green cattle gates you get at Tractor Supply.
Yeah.
Would be probably optimal for them. It's pretty reasonably cheap and simple, unless we wanna do something more attractive, but I don't know, in that area, it's really just pasture land anyway, I guess, so.
Yeah, and are we,
So we would need to, once Carl gives us the survey, then we can get the deed in the survey and a gate, to propose to them, and they can send it to their family.
Okay, and they talked about the gate would stay open except when they have cattle operations and we swing the gates closed.
Yep, that would be
Okay.
something we would, request.
And do we talk about surfacing through that easement?
That's definitely something I wanna look at, so it would wanna be something that doesn't hinder the cattle going across it, so. Across a year.
They just do it twice a year. Is it?
Basically, they bring the cattle in the spring and pull them out in the fall. That's just a chute
Yeah.
to get them off the mountains.
Did you damage the drill?
Oh, yeah, they could, but it's like the elk on the golf course.
yeah,
The greens,
That's true, too.
yeah, but.
so, at one time, they were wanting fencing on each side of the trail.
That was probably my misconception, I think,
Okay.
more than anything.
So we're
Cause
just
that's
talking,
150 foot wide.
so we're just talking the gates on each.
Originally,
As they
last
come
years
in.
ago, it was just a gate that would swing and block it and then swing back.
Right.
But there's three fences.
No, there's two.
No, we
At
were out
the
there looking, I
easement.
walked through there and there's three fences.
Where the easement is?
Well, they're whatever it is,
Whatever.
we walked that, remember, we walked it, and I went through the fence, and there was another fence, and then another
There's a, yeah,
fence.
there is a third fence we first stopped at, which isn't, I don't think it's Creek property fence.
Oh,
I
it's
think they
not?
have the two internal, the
Yeah, cause I,
fence on the south
So
side.
Who owns that fence?
I went in and measured, I went in right where the sewer was and
I don't know.
measured
I think
that
it's
width and
Old.
Old
it was
fence.
only a
Could
fence.
be unused fence, John.
I'm
I
sorry,
think
It's
it's just
unused
old.
fence.
unused fence? Oh, we do with it.
Find out whose property it's
Find out who
on.
it is and then we tear it down.
Would that be village? Was
I
it
think
on the
it's the
north side?
village. I think right there it is, the fence. If I'm thinking of the right fence.
So,
Well, I walked that, so there was only two fences, so I think we're good.
So
You know,
I've never been.
originally Brett was saying he thought it was like a 60 foot wide, you know.
it's clearly
shoot,
150
But it's
feet.
150 feet because I measured it. So,
So the only question for them and for us is, we could see what the surface, how it impacts over one season or one use if we do the crusher fine through there. Then determine if we've got to, next time around, change it, because I don't know how long and how many cattle are in there for a period of time, if they're feeding them in there before they load them, or just a strict loading operation. Like, they could destroy 150 feet of trail pretty darn fast and
That's
make us.
something you can ask him, Joe, the logistics of how
yeah, the way,
operation happens.
yeah, you know, watch them over the years. I think they try to push all that cattle. When you first have off Mountain View Boulevard, when you come in, there's a fence and a fence. And then on down is the sewer line easement. So they're just bringing them in and they're gonna corral them
To load them.
past where the trail would be. So they're gonna just be running them across the trail. But then they won't be like,
Corralled on the trail.
yeah,
I haven't
because,
seen as many cattle nowadays. Remember
no,
when I first moved here, it seems like there's a couple of semi trucks, like several semi trucks, and I don't see that activity like that.
yeah, you know, they all, you know, they're taking them out at another couple other places now because they have more land that they, on the south side that they used to, so
It might
I
not-
don't know how much they really use this.
I think you tested it would be good.
Yeah, so maybe we build that for spec, and then if it doesn't work, we can decide, well, we gotta put a rubber mat, roll out a rubber mat on it during the seasons and some other strategy.
Yeah.
Okay,
And if we do have to fix it, I mean, skid steer in there probably an hour, probably get the trail.
back level again, just blade it flat.
Not that we wanna do that every year.
Right.
Once, twice, okay.
Okay, so, I guess we haven't seen anything from Rocky yet, so,
No. I haven't seen any.
okay. And you push him on that to have a
Yeah, I'll ask
narrative
him,
share with
yeah.
us? Encourage or prompt. Half text. All right, anything else on that item for now?
Is there, I mean, can we apply for the grant and, then request, I mean, before we get permission from everybody we have to wait for that, so.
We have to have permission, right?
Yeah, for the land, they have to see that that's definitely a done deal.
So that's gonna have to go through title too, I think, with the deeds are gonna have to be,
Eventually, but for the grant purposes,
I think just a letter.
Just a letter.
Just a
and then-
letter.
And then
Okay.
after, if we get the grant, yeah, because if
Yeah.
we don't get the grant, then we
It doesn't
wouldn't,
matter.
we wouldn't go
Yeah.
and get easements recorded.
They just want to have a letter to show that, yeah,
They're willing.
all
they're on
parties
board.
are, and are in the same
Right,
ideas.
and then
have
if the
same
grant
plan.
gets approved, then that becomes part of the design thing
Yeah.
is the monies we're getting for the design would include like some of the legal work necessary to get the actual easements recorded and.
Yes.
Okay, so on my end, what's important is to figure out the resort, it's gonna be, what the new kind of plan we discussed, that's drastically changed. Our property, so it should speed that up, but still need to know.
Exactly, yeah.
That will definitely speed this process.
Minimizing any impact on the resort, for sure. All right.
Sorry.
Sounds like we should have that before the time, according to Carl said.
And it's 50 foot.
That's the easement, 50 feet.
Very nice. All right, okay.
Let me pull up the agenda again. Thank you, sir. Moving on, comprehensive plan. Brainstorming on existing conditions related to the village rec facilities, include inventory, budgeting, staffing, and concerns, etc. In regards to the comprehensive plan, I did not make the meeting yesterday. I had to take my business partner to Albuquerque and did not make it, so I have nothing to report on.
Well, there's nothing new from that, except we just presented what we expected all the committees to work on. And what we drafted up last time with this timeline of working on existing conditions and then their issues. And we, make both of those may surface today. Is our first test, our first chapter, and then we gotta find ways to. I did learn.
Excuse me, there's 4 printed copies.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. And that one is, sorry to interrupt.
That's okay.
The sewer easements you could show JK. Thank you. Oh, should I pick it out already? Mine for.
Yeah.
Mine for?
Yeah.
M4?
M4.
M4, Bill.
Yeah.
It should be there.
All right,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
just in case.
All right, thanks, sir.
So what came out of, I just touched on the meeting last night, what came out of it was we were presenting, what the committee expected to do to council members and committee chairs. Unfortunately, there's only one committee chair there representing the Night Sky Committee, no one else. What's happened here? So that's like, seems to me that, council dropped the ball on encouraging the chairs to be there. So I always want to hear more from the chairs than I did from council.
I think that, the idea that the mayor had too was that the liaisons would be the representatives for the committees to discuss. I
Yeah.
think that's probably where,
Okay.
but
Okay, so at any rate, we talked about civic engagement, community engagement, and we know Greg Ralph is working on podcasts. So we're thinking that Recreation Trails Committee could be one of the podcasts about what's going on, what our issues are, what our goals are. And all the committees could be part of this podcast series on comp plan. And we're also thinking now that the Village Voice seems to be taking off as a new communication tool, that we could do an extended Village Voice on the comp plan topics. And then that could be shared through the utility bill, but it also could be a link onto the village website, and people can comment there and link from social media to the village website where you can provide input on it. So from that point of view, we did see networking. We saw that the Night Sky Committee definitely wants to talk to Shay about, what the lighting is gonna be like and all that sort of thing, because they were working on a Night Sky ordinance and how that plays into it. And then, we definitely interact with the Streets Committee on curb cuts and all those pedestrian crossing issues that we care about. So what we're hoping for is a collaboration and kind of the bumblebee pollination theory, that each of us can pollinate another topic and have broader conversation on the comp plan stuff. So the timeline was adopted, so we basically have the next couple of weeks to think about our existing conditions. Since we don't have a whiteboard here or a flip chart, I thought we could just, maybe everyone could put some existing conditions that they know of onto sticky notes, and we put up on the wall. And then you probably have some data as well for existing conditions on stuff like staffing, budget that we could add on to it. So, and then Chris, if you've got stuff, you could just holler out if you've got an existing condition or so that you want to share. So pass some stickies down that way, and I got Sharpies.
have some stickies.
I just practice reading electrical.
There's some stickies, and there we go. I think that's enough stickies on this side. One.
So let's just put them up on the wall behind us.
Sorry. I have one.
So if you've got an existing condition that you wanna, and I think let's include resort stuff on this for now, just so we know what the whole trail network is within the village and what are existing conditions. So we're looking at staffing, budget, inventory of amenities, and condition assessments. It's kind of our big topics. So if you've got something you wanna write down, just put the key bullet point on there. We can flesh it out a little bit later. Put the key bullet point on there, and then we can see if they overlap, and we can, if everyone writes Frank Young Trail first, great, we can just consolidate our comments up on the thing. So
So give us an example of like,
Frank Young Trail, 1.2 miles or 0.7 miles pressure fine pathway that goes from North Angel Fire Road south.
so when you say existing condition, I mean, we're trying to inventory what we
We're,
have.
yeah,
We're not trying to
inventory we
say-
have,
We're not saying the actual, what the conditions in good or bad or.
we can say that the overall conditions of the village trails is fair to Midland.
Okay.
And you can say the resort trails are, fair condition, but it's really an inventory. I think the condition assessment is a separate topic for it. That's probably more of an issue
Right.
that says that the 70% of the trails need major maintenance.
I mean, like this way, we were trying to identify what
We have,
what we have,
What
like
we
what
have.
trails we have,
Right.
what recreational facilities we have.
right, and that
Without
includes,
getting into too much about it.
right, and the existing conditions also say that we have a 2018 trails priority list can be an existing condition. So,
You want one item per.
yeah, do one item for sticky, then we'll consolidate.
Seems like one ought to be the uncertainty of who owns what trail, like Solar Loop.
That's my post-it, Chris.
Okay, and that's an issue, not an existing condition, but I've got that captured. Unclear ownership.
So just for clarification, is Frank Young the same as Solar Loop?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay, is Solar Loop its own trail?
No,
Yeah.
it's Frank Young, it used to be Solo Loop, it's renamed Frank Young.
Okay,
And isn't the backside on the other side of the creek? I always thought that was Solar Loop, but what's on this.
oh,
side.
so we have a Frank Young that keeps going straight, that dead end, and then we have the Solar Loop that pulls, okay. Cause I'm just trying to.
I thought it was both named Solo Loop, but,
Maybe that's an issue.
yeah,
That's an issue.
I mean, not Solo Loop, Frank Young, I thought they changed the whole Frank Young too, but I could be wrong.
One side resort, the other side.
No, it's all village for that, yeah, just cause it's on the easement over like where the beaver dam was and everything, and where the bridges are. That's village, but just on the easement, and then the property next to the trail is all resort. So, yeah, we're.
So that's how we identify basically, is by property owner,
Yeah, yeah,
who owns, whose trails what.
so yeah, like the Frank Young Trail, Solar Loop Trail, whatever is village, but, and it only goes up to that dead end spot, when you go over to the green area, the green belt area, that's AFCO. So,
See, one.
So you could, I mean, you could say.
Oh, I was just
On
trying to- I was just trying
on
to
this
figure
side,
out.
of the creek, what we're calling Frank Young is village, and yet on the other side, you can see their Solar Loop or still Frank Young, but then it's got, that's resort.
resort on the
Probably.
outside of the, yeah, the village is just on the easement, yeah.
So I made just real fast, just a list of the trails that we have. So we have Frank Young, Sendero del Sol, Bobcat, and then there's elk, deer, bear, sage, powerline, Solar Loop, and then coyote. Is
Lady
there
slipper.
Ladies-
Slipper.
lady slipper?
Links.
Cougar,
Cougar, Lynx.
Costa Vista.
Yeah.
Vista,
Cougar, lynx,
Bear, all.
Ballista,
Yeah,
Vista,
In case you can't find.
and then we have bear, alt. All right, I just figured it'd be nice to know how, like,
So is it like power line part of that? officially, or that's power line is part of that? You guys just did work
Oh, you
on
missed another one, Sage.
Sage is
Yeah,
right there, yeah, Sage, Power Line, Solar Loop, Coyote,
Yeah.
Links, Cougar, West of Vista Bear, all this, okay. Figured-
So that's a good list. So what we need for that probably, so that has distances on that one, more or less?
Yeah,
One, two,
yeah.
thirty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And we can accept that the distances on that map is pretty accurate, more or less,
I'd
for
say so.
within,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Depends on which GPS phone you're using probably.
Sure. But I mean, it's gonna. I mean, we know we've got like a 2.5 mile trail and not a 10 mile trail, you know, on a given trail.
So, and most of those trails are within 10 years old, huh?
I'd say way older.
Older?
Cougar is the newest one.
Yeah.
Besides Power Line and Sage.
Could we just, instead of on the sticky notes, just put this up on your
Yeah.
board?
Uh-huh.
Because it's got the trails and the links. And I think the only thing that's not on here is, Cougar's not on here because no, Cougar's on here.
Oh,
I don't see, I mean, Power Line's on here, so yeah, I think they're all, there's a few in the forest, like Ho Chi Minh and what you do in LA Barker. That are not, you know, not resort or village. So
Yeah.
I mean, what I can do is cover those over with.
Also like my post-it notes are pointless.
Well, we can put them up there and consolidate and group them. That's okay. Since we can't facilitate, this would be easier if we had a flip chart or whiteboard, I could just write stuff down, but buildings and have those resources available to us. Need to bring up again.
Point of contention.
All right, so I'm putting up, active remodel. We've got active recreation and trails committee in the missing condition. We have community trails map and printed and digital. We have a 2018 trails priority list. We have, Allen Field. Yeah. Good, and we have, community center, good, another recreation one. We have kiosks and signage. So those are good amenity, and we can put numbers up, we should fill that with how many and signs.
Frank Young Trail.
Okay, Frank Young Trail. Over here, what do we got over here? You have the whole trail list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Overachiever.
Yeah.
I put that to cover over the.
I'm just gonna stick them both up.
Okay, but let's cover over the extra sticky.
Yeah.
Let's cover the ones that are.
There, yeah. And I did capture Chris had an issue of unclear ownership on some trails. We'll start having issue going over here, we'll add to later.
Are we getting into like specific issues?
Yeah, that'll be next assignment.
Okay.
Since we've already captured, we'll start our list there. So what other, what other existing conditions or else would it capture on this thing?
We got signage, we got kiosks.
Size and kiosk been captured.
You want programming it like. I
Alan,
got a community center up there, but it's like, I mean, do we want to?
yes, we can put a program like we've got pickleball, we've got yoga and all those sort of things.
Yeah.
So you still could do a programming thing or.
We need to start putting stuff up.
Yeah,
we
put it up
have.
there, yeah. You see where we're missing, and the matter of then is putting this in some sort of a narrative form, so we have a baseline where we're at.
How about maintenance of these trails? It's clear for the,
Put on there.
Yeah, so Shay just added to the list, Chris, Frank Young and all trails, trail repaired equipment, and 75,000 budget this year for the Frank Young Solar Trail, and the Trails and Plus grant we're going after. So What's your staffing level? You have you and then how many do you have
Well,
staff
maybe-
dedicated to?
It would be the
Recreation?
maintenance department, that's all, yeah, so for staffing, it's the maintenance department, that's the one that's been, and he only has. One other person right now, but I think he's looking to hire someone else, but he does it for the whole village, so that becomes.
So how many hours do you think you're getting out of him a season for trails?
I don't know.
He's not doing a bad job, I mean, he also does the Allen Field, so I mean, in the summer, he probably spends most of his time. With me, helping me with that sort of stuff, so how many hours are,
Well, how many pay periods? Most of the summer, that's
it's mainly the
2,
summer, yeah,
4, 6, 8,
starting in
10 pay periods plus probably.
April all the way through mid-November.
Who's the head of maintenance?
It's more than
Well,
that.
Kurt Epler is the
Yeah.
department head, but it's Mino
You
Romero.
May, June, July, August, September.
So let's see.
That's like 12 to 14 pay periods.
And then they also do the maintenance up at the community center. Some of it we do, some of it ourselves, but at the community center, they also do that like tile repair and things like that. So they're not technically under my department, but they do a lot with my department. So
There's two of them, right?
2 right now and hoping to get a 3rd. Yeah,
Who was it was playing pickleball with us, right?
probably. Yeah, Mino one time. Yeah.
Okay.
I need to do that too.
So,
And then at the community center, I have one other full-time person.
okay,
And then 2, one student and then 1 part-time.
oh, cool, okay. So maintenance of 2 people that are 12 to 14 pay periods, April through November, that works on Allen Fields Community Center and Trails, and you have a full-time works at community center and a part-time person.
Yes.
Okay,
And then in the summer, one of the programs is I do a day camp out of the community center, and that I hire 2 to 3 other staff for.
okay, 2 to 3 seasonal staff for the summer camp.
Yep.
Here. Okay, Allen Field's budget is 300 to 600. K, lodger, sports and rec fee.
Yeah, 300 from the lodger's tax,
Oh, it's 600.
600 from the sports and rec fee. Is what-
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
Wow, what is, for
yeah.
Allen Fields, that much money?
The sports and rec fee's just been sitting there, evidently. So, yeah, I'm
that's been
not,
collected over the years, that's just what we
Mhm.
have available, wow.
there's actually a little more than that, which I guess nobody knew that you could, I was never told anything, you know.
Some of
that
that's
this-
collected through lodger's tax, isn't it?
Wait, we have,
Well, I don't know about that, but maybe.
Yeah,
The sports and
like
rec fee itself is
2%.
separate, and we only have it for another like 2 years, I think. It was when the whole, yeah, so only two more years, but it's never been
But it
touched.
can be renewed, I think.
Maybe, yeah.
So, yeah.
I think the money's been in there, and, I don't know if, yeah, we can spend it on the Allen Fields for what we're doing. I mean, for
Yeah.
improvements,
$600,000.
maintenance.
I think there's 2% of lodger's tax money that goes into that sports and rec.
there's 9,
So clarification, there's $900,000 sitting in the coffers available.
Well, the
for-
lodger's tax is separate from the sports and rec fee. That was, what the lodger's tax committee, had said that they're supportive of, yeah.
Okay,
So I mean,
so you have, that's available
yes,
from Lodgers Tax. So example,
that's what I was
the
told.
things we want ECTA to do, for example, that's still in conversation of a kiosk or a community trails forum or digital maps could be covered through some of these.
Well, we could, for lodger's tax was available for things like that, yeah, definitely.
and those are 12,000.
So, and then,
And really, we're eating to,
The sports and rec fee can only go to.
We need to spend it, we got to spend it
Yeah.
quickly.
yeah.
Well, it also brings to mind, I'm gonna think, this is going into goals and objectives later on, but it all flows. Idea of assessing trails within a resort here for adaptive trail use. We bring in someone to do that. That could cover that contract pretty easily too, if we need to spend that kind of. I keep hearing Lodgers Tax has got us all this, what, 3 million or something now sitting there, or.
And
that's a
hopefully we'll get an actual budget of that. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay,
and then are monies available for the matching on the Trails Plus grant or whatever? else
Well, that's,
grants? Is that, is that somewhere up there?
That's 70, yeah, I put it on the trails
It's
over
right over
here.
there, that's 75.
I
K buck.
budgeted 75, yeah.
So we had that money.
But some of that, I mean, some of it's gonna be used for Carl now.
Right. Yeah,
But I don't know.
that's actually grant related. so
Yeah,
it's mine.
but, yeah.
Can that be counted as the in-kind contribution, the monies we pay Carl ahead of the grant?
I don't think so for in-kind,
So the more we use this, of the 75,000, then we've got less.
but I
to
think we'll have
match.
a decent amount of in-kind through village help, you know, like,
But-
through the Public Works Department.
But for just the first grant application, which we're just applying for the design, there's not gonna be much in kind. I mean, it's like.
We'll be able to match it if we have to with the village. We can even do a bar to cover what we had to do with Carl to have that in kind, so.
This is also, I mean, we can help prioritize this possibly, but it's also skate park money if that happens. So you bring in somebody else to do that. Okay, on signage, just gonna make a note on signage. So we have, is that directional signage and,
Yeah, I would say
Directional.
trailhead signage.
okay,
Here's
Trailhead.
trailhead kiosks.
directional,
New kiosk, trail map,
Yeah,
I would say all.
so we have one, a separate one for kiosks and one for signage. So signage is the directional trailhead. And then,
Keep dogs on a leash. I've been asked to put those up there
Well, the
all
crosswalks,
over, yeah.
okay, that'll be another issue we're gonna capture.
I got you, Attila.
Okay, just give me an issue for, new signage. Okay, signage, directional trailhead.
and that kiosk.
There's some interpretive signage for the wetland stuff, right? A little bit of interpretive.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
you were thinking of a level of difficulty signage or?
Well, that, and we're just trying to say what signage do we have? in
yeah,
there.
directional
Oh,
trailhead.
The
Oh, what we
issue,
have.
when we get out into the issues, it's gonna be what's outdated signage or lacking signage.
Oh, I got
Yeah, we'll change that. So
I
this,
know the village, we just have.
how many kiosks do we have?
I don't think we.
Anyone know?
How many?
Figure it out.
So,
The other thing, we got kiosks, plus we got these little platform things instead of a pedestal
yeah,
with a sign. So I don't think it's a kiosk, but they're all,
trailhead sign.
yeah, they're all tore up.
Okay.
Yeah, I would
Six, 7 range.
probably wanna combine the kiosk and trailhead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Probably 8.
Yeah, I think that's.
maybe.
I'm thinking 5 off the top of my head. So we'll
Yeah.
probably have 8.
Costa Vista has one.
Cougar, top and bottom,
Okay.
West Vista one, Foley Park one, Deer Trailhead one,
And then Frank Young.
Solar.
Solar.
Sendero del Sol has 2.
two,
Frank Young's got the one at, well,
Bottom
the
of
far
stage.
edge.
Bottom of stage right here.
It just talks about that.
I'd say 8.
So,
One on stage.
There's
too.
one over by those bridges.
Very bottom.
yeah, so can I, task you after you get moved in, the next couple of weeks, to, give me a list of where all the kiosks are?
Sure.
And is it on that map? Is that map on it?
So,
Do we need a list where the platforms are at to? Platform maps?
yeah, I think so.
We also have one at Barrett's on a tree,
Right.
just mounted on a tree there.
So we also have some of those picnic tables out on some of those trails that are, you know, like you need a ladder to get to them, but they're out there.
Or they're sunk down where you sit and you leave.
And since we're including resort trails, I mean, there's other resort recreational things, like, so we're including the Monteverde Lake Trail, that, I mean, is Monteverde Lake activities, fishing and boating and all that, or is that starting to get?
I think that's Mission Creek, because that, like, we have no role in how they manage that property, operation.
So limit it to the trails.
Yeah, I think just limit- yeah, let's just do the kiosk.
But like the restrooms along the trail, you know, they've got restrooms down there, should that be part of
And we're at, Monteverde.
Monteverde Lake along the trail? There's down at the south end, there's the,
Yeah, there's that one bathroom.
and parking, I mean, should we have parking? Trail parking, which is probably gonna be in the issues part, because
Yeah.
in places we don't have adequate parking. But we
Okay.
probably have to identify what parking lots we do have.
And we'll have.
and-
ID locations and how many cars they can, or how many vehicles are, they can take, right?
Yeah,
So that's one thing we'll hope in the spring is once we do Liberty Square, we're gonna increase parking significantly. And of course,
They're gonna
connect
start,
Frank Young to Allen
we're gonna
Fields.
start at every square in the spring.
Temporary, the temporary, yeah, so that'll increase your parking area for trail accessibility.
should, Frontier Park be up there at all, as far as an existing inventory of?
Resort.
Is that resort?
It's resort, how do you guys feel? Should we list Frontier at all, or not really? We have no say
Frontier
in
Park
that.
is resort, but the trail, different name of trail going up by Frontier Park area or up, or just up to their Bobcat, yeah, but I think it just goes to the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's resort, that little one right around Frontier Park, I think is all resort, that little bit of trail even. Yeah.
That kind of meanders through the
I
park.
don't think Frontier Park really.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're really focusing on village stuff with the exception of the Greenbelt network that we have a trust, collaborative effort on. Anything else on existing conditions?
And no
The
access.
fields themselves, right? Allen Fields, I mean, I
We
don't
got
have
Allen
Allen
Fields.
Fields, so.
So what,
just
so
make
what
sure.
is Allen?
So
Chris,
like
were you about to say something?
The turf, you
I
know,
was
what's
gonna
the?
Yeah. Fields.
One more time?
There's no current, easy access to Allen Fields.
Okay.
That'd be.
Should you write that down as a
All
different
right.
issue on top?
I got you.
So Allen Fields, so is it one large full-size soccer field? Is it 110 by 70 or?
It's a full-size soccer field, and then it's two softball fields, softball fields.
So do you know, is it professional size or high school size?
For the soccer, it's high school, I believe.
So like 110 by 60 probably, or 100.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that, but yeah, it's a high school soccer field with, and we have the two high school goals. All the other goals out there aren't ours.
Signage to Allen Fields.
We have one sign, but we need more signage, definitely.
Oh, we have a dog park.
And a gate at Allen Fields, we want to
Someone
gate there.
put dog park in a different color for me. Dog park,
And that technically isn't ran by the village.
I know,
It's-
but
but
it's still a recreational amenity, the bench mulch.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's confirm the size of the soccer field, because I think that's important. If you're
I can-
attracting tournaments,
I can probably look that right, I mean, when I get back.
yeah, if you're attracting tournaments, people are gonna want 110 by 70, which is a professional size as opposed to high school size.
It's professional, we should put in for the World Cup bid.
We should, right. Dog park next
We
week.
try to get a World Cup up here.
What teams do you wanna have to play here?
Good teams.
I'm making the World Cup at all of it.
Competitive teams. Community center, should we list,
Some of that programs.
I want to see like
the actual.
Trinidad and Tobago versus Zambia, you know?
Basketball court.
Yes.
Spain versus Argentina, maybe.
Pickleball,
There, yeah,
basketball,
Right.
the kitchen.
Yeah,
Kitchen,
commercial kitchen.
and then you've got meeting rooms or conference rooms that
Yeah.
you use, right,
Mhm.
for activities?
Yeah,
Have you ever rented that out since my scout troop did that years ago?
like for overnight?
Yeah,
No, I've only really done that for you guys and then one other running group,
okay.
because we don't have showers or anything, so it's a little,
You still have that playground outside?
it's actually being built right now. I mean, yeah,
Playground?
yeah, if you haven't been up there, we have a whole nother, on the west side, it's all covered now with concrete, you know, where the gym doors
Yeah.
are for easy loading, unloading and everything, and then,
Nice and covered.
yeah, it's
I
nice
saw
and
them
covered.
now.
And then they're finishing that up, and then the playground, the installers actually showed up yesterday, so that's starting, so all the equipment's been sitting there.
Look at all this movement.
And then,
And everything is.
Hang on. One at a time, Tim's got the
Or
floor.
the community center, I mean, should we be listing like all the tables and chairs?
I have
That's
a
a
whole,
huge amount of.
I have a whole list of our inventory,
Okay,
that I could send to the group if we want, but it's a lot of stuff.
I think we have to go that kind of detail, but we can say that, the community center can provide, you know, banquet setup, whatever it is in there, that may be enough for us. Okay. All right, what else? Anything else? We're missing anything else? We keep talking, we talked about a few things, we have time check, it's 15 minutes, we wrap up.
Liberty Square.
Nothing there yet, but.
It's coming,
We're gonna start
next year, we'll put a list on it.
So I will point out though, in the conversation of Liberty Square, it seems to me that there's a small brain trust of people working on Liberty Square and they're not really thinking broader. I threw out to them yesterday, to Greg Ralph actually, that there ought to be great views into the creek and the watershed there, and not blocked by tents or buildings. And then, yeah, this is not roads.
I just, sorry, I was just looking up there.
So, and
Yeah,
then,
the last couple days.
but also the idea of having that discovery trail, so if you were on Frank Young, could you incorporate the, you know, a play structure like a boulder climbing and log hopping, whatever, along the trail, so it's like a little adventure trail? So I'm trying to get these people to think broader than.
Well, right now we do have,
tent.
right now we do have the disc golf there, which is another.
I think we should pull that, we have, that's right, so let's ask disc golf course, it's there, it's unused. Does anyone use it?
I've seen a few people use it, yeah.
Cause they.
It needs more it
Yeah,
needs signage
signage.
and everything on the disc golf. It was kind of not fully completed, the high school.
I guess probably why they don't use it, cause people
It's
don't know it's
only,
there.
it's only 9 holes.
Okay.
But that, with the idea of extending it when we do the Frank Young, we were gonna try to make it a full disc golf. Yeah, we could only do 9 because we didn't own the property going around. We were kind of doing that circle, but, so.
So, and then will there be a need for a third, if the resort does disc golf at, Olympic Park, which is what that big schematic showed, which is in the wetlands, so if they actually follow, if they actually, the resort actually goes after permits, they're gonna have a problem getting disc golf in the wetlands,
Yeah.
but do we need 3 courses in town? So is there one local for, here, and I know, you know, we talked last night about the new workforce housing development behind Zeb's. Maybe you move a disc golf course into one of these communities that you're developing, so it's close to home
Well,
recreation.
those were donated, so we'd have to go to the people.
Yeah.
Not Sports donated those, but I'm sure they'd be fine with. as long
So
as they'll
Mount
get
Sport,
used.
if it was repurposed in another location and still had. a course
Well,
in
you
town.
know, if there's a disc golf course there and you develop Liberty Square,
That would make sense.
it's gonna get a lot more use, I'd hope, at that point.
Okay, well.
Well, if they're at Liberty Square, if they have like disc golf, I mean, if they have frisbees,
Yeah,
people
hand
would
it
do
out.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point.
All right.
That'd be
Offer
great.
'em, yeah.
Patrick, what's the activity on top of the mountain for disc golf?
Pigs.
Gonna be discontinued at some point.
Oh, right, yeah, because there's not a lot of ice going up there. You gotta pay to go up and then.
Yeah, and so it gets, okay.
I think I've always seen people up there. That was, every time I'm walking.
It's actually not a terrible course.
That's pretty
There's
cool.
somebody dedicated out there that really did crap. That would be amazing.
Pretty cool course.
Yeah. Anything else on these? We good for existing conditions? Okay, anyone want to take lead on consolidating this into a narrative for us?
I'll do it, because I probably need to do it for the minutes anyway,
Okay,
so why don't I take?
so I'll let you collect all the cards. You take a picture of it, you can collect the stickers, stickies.
Well, I think the way.
We'll pass the hat around for donations for you.
Okay. Very good. So next assignment we'll be working on, Chris, next time we'll meet is on issues. And so if you wanna email issues to, Matt and I and Tim in advance, we can have those prepared for our next session here in a couple of weeks. We start talking about issues. And Shay, recreation issues that we may not be aware of.
Yeah.
Things you hear about Allen Fields and the problem with it, or no lighting, all the stuff we're working on.
Yeah.
Be fantastic to have on that. Okay, was this productive? Did it help?
Yeah.
This process?
Yeah.
A lot more items than I would have thought of.
Yeah, so sometimes this process works.
It makes a lot of sense.
So I'll go ahead and take this sticker.
Okay.
But I'll go ahead and take them too.
Do we need a whiteboard?
We do need it. It'd be nice to have a whiteboard, a large whiteboard. I think I wanna talk to the manager about having one here.
I think because they're gonna be remodeling all this anyway, they can incorporate that into the remodel.
Yeah, it can be a portable one too. I'd even be happy with a flip chart stand and flip chart paper, because that's how I live for.
We do have a whiteboard at the community center in that room we're at, but we've been here. so,
Yeah, we've been here. Now, is that gonna turn into a meeting room possibly?
I think the plans are here somewhere, I don't know.
That's okay. Well, if that was a conference room, it'd be much nicer to work in a conference room than otherwise. We can have a flip, whiteboard in there. But having a large whiteboard would be, conducive to better meeting. All right, any other items? I'll talk about it, this, Jeff, I'll talk about it, this room here, gonna turn it.
Oh, no, I know, I just saw that.
Oh, small television.
I thought there was a.
Okay, let's wrap on that one, we've got 15 minutes. Other topics, so I did email, Lauren again, have not heard back, but I asked him to either participate live or remotely for our meeting next time. Let's see. Didn't respond. And have a conversation about him, as we mentioned last time, about facilitating some community forum on trails. As for next summer, the kiosk and a regional trail display that they're still putting to the communities. So maybe there's a place where there's a Enchanted Circle Trails map. It says people are here for longer, and they want to go explore Red River Trail or something else, that there's a bigger kiosk. They've done a couple of those, I believe. So we're gonna ask ECTA about what they can do and the potential to support that organization. And maybe that moves us into our status report on prior action items. Because I think that's a topic, one of the things in there.
Did talk to Linda, the mayor of Red River, and she doesn't know of any mayor's, conference with ECTA
Okay,
that they've ever done, but she said they are working together on that.
okay.
Trail that you mentioned.
Are they putting up the, program?
I didn't ask.
So yeah, let's go through our list if we can. I'll read this. So Board of Contracting to make a presentation at the next meeting. So that status was open for today. They were a no-show.
Yeah.
Board of
and-
Contracting.
Yeah, so, well, I think moving towards American
Ramp
ramps
company.
is probably more productive.
Yeah, I went to the Board of Contracting website and they pretty much focus on McDonald's buildings and retail space.
And then a lot of Native American.
Yeah, so they probably subbed out that American Ramp is what you think happened, so.
Well, it looked like to me, I went to their website too. I think they're just a construction management company. So
Okay.
They're not, they don't, it sounds like they, McDonald's wants to build a restaurant, they go to them and then they find the contractor.
Okay,
Like
And it sounded like
project
on this
manager.
Pepper's deal that, so they went to American Ramp. Pepper just came to them and said, hey, we want to do a skate park, and then they just take the ball from there and do all the coordination, get the contractor to actually build it. They didn't build it, I don't think. They.
He said
like
they did,
American
but-
Ramp.
I'll keep on him to see, if he loops back around, it's not completely dead in the water, but.
Should I put that like in the bike locker thing?
Yeah,
For construction?
well, I'm wondering, should
But-
we invite American Ramp Company to do a presentation to us and have Oliver have listen to those guys?
Yeah, and it would be nice to even have, that plan that the Pueblo did is a pretty cool thing to spin off of.
I think, how that gets spec'd, and once we know what the RFP looks like, then, I know Professional Trail Builders Association and the executive director of that, that's easy to shop this out to a bunch of professional trail builders to get it done.
Well, it's nice to see, or Steamboat,
Yeah.
wherever we decide, you'll know at least how many acres it takes to do, this.
Okay, So do we wanna pursue American Ramp Company as a presenter in the near future, over the winter sometime? Okay.
Yeah.
You wanna take lead on?
Let me, I'll
contacting?
take, I'll take lead on reaching out to American Ramp Company.
Okay,
And I'll get with Oliver too, because he had done a lot of legwork on the actual construction and design. And he had some contacts that he had been working with, because when he gave us his presentation, he had already done a lot of that. So I'll get with Oliver and see who he's got, and we can just, start bringing all those people in, start getting a better comprehensive idea of what we can and can't do.
Yeah, depending on his contacts, we can research them to see how big they are and how
Sure.
big the projects they can tackle.
Cause I know that these guys have, he's worked with them in Texas on a couple of projects.
And if they even come to New Mexico.
to American Ramp?
No, like
Oh,
whoever
I
Oliver
think he's going with Escape.
these
contact.
guys go where the money is. If there's a contract, they'll try for it. But it was interesting learning, if you asphalt top these things, it was interesting learning yesterday that how difficult it's been getting work done in the village, getting asphalt, because the perpetual Espanola project has been, using all the asphalt in the region, and then the Taos project using all the asphalt in the region. So no one can get asphalt because those two major,
Wouldn't be a good time to
Projects.
do this year for sure.
yeah, so that's
We're gonna open
interesting.
an asphalt business?
Hmm?
We're gonna open asphalt.
We should, yeah. Yeah, how difficult it's been to get stuff done because there's no asphalt available. South Amplify Road, I think, would be an example we shared last night. They couldn't get it started because.
It's going though.
No,
It is, yeah.
Is that,
So
is it,
they're
are you guys
grinding it up.
using, Bob Sherwin's stuff for that?
No,
Okay,
no. No, that it was discovered that, even after you did that, you still have to asphalt over that.
sure,
So that got pretty expensive.
gotcha.
Still something to
All
consider.
right, so
for
to
some future.
continue rolling through the list because we're out of time. Recon Walk, Scout Alignment, that's this ongoing. That's gonna be this Sunday, 1 PM. And can you do it, email out, reminder email for us on that?
For everybody?
Yeah,
Sure.
okay. Jeff, email. All right, Shay, coordinate with Shay regarding village trail inspections using the fillable form. Chris was gonna coordinate with Shay.
Still ongoing. That's-
Okay, ongoing, open, okay. Lauren is ongoing, no regional meeting. Research Event Center in Winter Park, Colorado, no lead assigned. Does anyone want to provide more background on that?
I mean, can I get reimbursed for my travel? Cause I will go up there and do some personal research myself.
We'll look into it for you.
All right, thanks. Well,
Okay,
the answer is
Elliot,
yes, and I'm in.
Elliot was gonna look at a cross-country running course, possible considerations including Frank Young Extension Trail. Can someone check on Elliot if he's gonna work on that or not? Follow up. I'll follow up with him. All right, Shay was gonna check with the ramp company about village possibly renting and setting up a temporary skate park or pump trap in Liberty Square when that happens. So could be the same conversation we have these guys that they.
I was
So they're
gonna say, I
already
don't remember even what ramp company we were, was it?
So they're already doing an 8-week, at Liberty Square. They're already scheduled to do a full 8-week, ramp.
Oh,
really?
So the ramps are gonna be here for 8 weeks this summer at
Oh, wow,
Liberty
okay.
Square, with, classes.
the same people that have been doing it.
Oliver,
Oliver, yeah,
Uh-huh.
okay.
And he gets
Yeah.
American Ramp, probably, right?
He built them.
Oh, did he? Okay.
so.
Thanks, you know, I did my job, no.
Yeah. Check.
Good, okay. Sewer line easements ongoing, that's good,
Huge progress today.
ongoing.
Yeah,
Maintain records inventory of documents.
Do we have our,
Any update on the village getting a Google Drive for all the stuff?
no, we are in the process, actually, last night,
Yeah, we just
we went to
approved,
council, yeah.
so we just approved for, Ubi, think it's
Zuby.
Zuby to,
Or something like that.
go paperless, and they're gonna be scanning in everything. So that'll include, storage of
Everything, yeah.
Parks and Recs and.
So it is
all of that,
in the works,
their
but it
docs.
just started.
So it'll all be together.
Okay,
So we'll have to coordinate, I guess Shay will coordinate with us on how,
Well, once they get like to my department, they're doing it by departments or something, so.
it'll be a year from now.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Or so, yeah, since day one, scanning everything, so.
okay, then going down the list, in June, we were gonna follow up with Kurt regarding missing slats on bridge on Solo Loop Trail and other maintenance issues, including stairs leading that North Angel Fire Road and disc golf tees. So the slats are still missing,
On which bridge?
understand?
low wooden one.
That,
Solar.
on Solo Loop, that's, Resort or AFPO.
Once again, not clear.
Okay, issue, all right.
Badger's like, nah.
Basically, if I've worked on a trail in the past 10 years, I'll let you know if it's definitely resort. Those trails.
That's what I was told, because we used to mow that too, and then I was told, don't mow that anymore because it's AFPOs is what I was told back in the day, so.
When we
So-
walked, it was hard
Yeah.
to tell where.
I could probably figure out who owns that land if you, I don't know the trail though, I don't know where the bridge is, I'm totally literally.
Well, the bridge on Bobcat, the maintenance department's actually buying wood today to fix pieces on that. They're gonna redo the whole top of that. Because it was, we replaced some of the wood
Right.
and now we're just gonna redo it all. So that actually, he told me he's gonna buy the wood for that today. That's on Bobcat.
And I can let Eric and Samantha know about the bridge if it's Alpha. I'll tell
That's what
Samantha.
I was told. I mean,
I'll tell
We get
Samantha.
I was
that
told
metal
to put mine in.
structure bridge and then you go around the backside of it and you come out to when it's really low and it's got a little step up on the backside.
Yeah.
Is it right here?
All right, so
Yeah.
keep moving on. Last thing I'm gonna touch on is, do we wanna, schedule and work on a National Trails Day event for next June as a committee?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's definitely worth pursuing.
All right, let's put that under agenda for, in the bike locker for agenda starting in January, start talking about that topic. Okay, next meeting, agenda topics.
I guess I guess, the Trails Plus grant, figure out, we can retouch on that, the progress from our walk and stake.
Number of kiosks.
Mhm.
Get that information.
Okay,
We have our comprehensive, oh, yeah, I got that, issues.
so let's review our existing conditions draft to make sure it's all good. Okay, review, that could be enough for us. EC draft, okay.
And I'll see if I can get, I'll see what progress I make with American Rim Company, whether they're available in a short amount of time or not.
Okay, and maybe, ECTA could be on the agenda. I've invited him for the meeting of the 13th.
Are we still staying on Wednesdays?
Yeah, because she still has mandatory training.
And the last one's on the 5th of December.
Okay, copy.
Okay.
No worries.
Works good for Jackie too.
Yeah, Wednesdays, it's all the same to me. I live in Perpetual Wednesday, so.
Okay, all right. Anything else for the good of the cause today?
Just, I'd like a copy of that.
Do you have ability to scan these?
I do.
He said he's gonna send a PDF.
Just give me one copy.
I'm just gonna give them all to you.
No, I just need one.
Everyone throw their Sharpies in here and I'll take all the paper back. Thank you, thank you.
Do we have set 4? All right, here you
They're
go.
not team supplies that always use that one.
Yeah. But you can hear. Yeah.
You can wrap up. Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, sir.
Sign